you make sure you can hear me well. So as I was saying, this is going to be a fun topic tonight as we talk about, free spirit and just what that energy is. But we are going to focus on women because that's who we are. If I was going to be talking to a man or someone that has more masculine energy, then it would be that. But we're going to talk about what this means. And the reason why Miss Melissa is here with me this evening is because she had already started this conversation on another show on Blog Talk Radio, A Wonderful Approach Radio on Blog Talk Radio. And it was so inspiring. And I know Melissa personally, and I've seen her growth. And when I talk about people that I asked to, join this HTE conversation with, it just ain't just because you're doing something. No, anybody can do that. I am literally pulled from my heart center to reach out to be like, hey, I need you. So this is how this comes about. And so when you were actually having that conversation or attempting to have that conversation, I felt at the end, I just felt like there was more and there was stuff that you wanted to say. And I wanted to I want to have a conversation. I want to feel special too with it. And so this is why she's here. She is I'm gonna let her speak for herself and to tell her first who she is, what she does, and then if she doesn't say what she does the way she's supposed to, then I'm gonna say it. So, Miss Melissa, please tell the people who you are.
Well, multifaceted, I can tell you that. I am a 51-year-old woman from Boston, and moved to Charlotte in '99. Love it here. Well, maybe I love it here. I am a designer. I make handbags. I am a beekeeper. I work in corporate. I'm sarcastic. I'm multifaceted. I mean,
no, so what she's not saying, which I was waiting to hear, and it's so funny that everybody that I know that are asked, who is asked to speak about themselves and say what they know, they do what I do. They don't say it all.
It's hard.
It's very hard. It's very, very hard. And so what Melissa is omitting is that she is a luxury leather designer, meaning she makes leather baggage and luggage. Beautiful. So, and tell them what's your website.
Okay. So the website is, if you can see my shirt, Fox.
It's backwards.
Oh, it's backwards. Okay, so it's FOXXSKYNZ.com. And on that website, you'll see a lot of different styles. I have about 11 styles of bags. And this little one right here, this little one, which is my
handmade, y'all. That's all her.
Yeah, it's handmade. It's called, I call it the hipster. It's actually a fanny pack. This one is not on the site yet. I'm actually in the process of making them to get on the site. But I have luggage set. I have handbags, shoulder bags, backpack, messenger bags. I have a lot of
beautifully crafted. Ain't no sweatshop happening. Homegirl is doing, and she can do custom design to a point.
The custom design that I do is not what people think. It's not like, oh, you saw a bag somewhere and asked me to recreate it, or you have no. It's my designs, but I will customize them by color. If you want to have your name put on it, things like that. If I can make that happen, I will. And a lot of the bags are multifunctional as well. So they have, straps may come off, come on. The luggage has wheels you could take off, things like that.
Yes, very durable, because my cousin has one that she's been toting around for a few years now, and it still looks brand new. Like it'll pack a punch. Don't punch it, but it'll pack a punch. So thank you for that. And she's a beekeeper.
Yes, I'm a beekeeper.
Yeah. So so I'm saying I want the gallon.
You want the gallon? Okay.
I want that. Let me know what that is. But yeah, so let's get into our topic. So before we get into it, we're gonna play a little game, because what I'm contemplating and I'm thinking and I'm meditating about all of this stuff and how this is supposed to go. And so I said, let's look up what
a free spirit is. Yes.
What a free spirit is.
I also looked up domestic. I also looked up wild, because I wanted to make sure that I was using those words in the right way. Yep.
So here's the deal. So I found this article that was published this year in September, and it had the 27 characteristics of a free-spirited woman. So I want to get, if you feel like these statements are accurate as it relates to being a free-spirited, wild, whatever, you woman. Okay. So it says, number one, you think, act, and make decisions without needing approval. Do you agree with that statement?
I do. However, because I know that I can be impulsive, and even though I do research and I do think things through, I will ask opinions of those I trust, just to make sure I'm not too far to deep in.
You trust yourself. Like when you do that, when you do something or you're making a decision, you're like, okay, I'm just gonna check in or whatever. However, but you've already made. I know Melissa's already made up her mind. Okay. So number two, you trust yourself and live fearlessly. Okay. I mean, everybody's got a fear, so I'm not fearless, but I am not. I don't. It's so funny. The last time we had a session with Mama Seven, fear came up for me, and I'm like, I don't understand that, because there's not much that I fear. So I'm gonna have to dig deeper on that. But initially, instinctively, not a lot of things discourage me to not go forward. I walk through fear. I will challenge fear. I guess that's the best way of saying it. I can see that. I've seen that. I've witnessed that before. And so I've had the pleasure of working with Melissa on this journey of ours of discovery. And like I said, you have just blossomed, you have popped, you have really come more into you was already, I think you were unconsciously yourself, but you're more consciously yourself, which is how this whole topic came up and how you were speaking about this. So the third thing that they said is what I'm actually about to say now. You're authentic, bold, and spontaneous. Yes, yes, and yes.
Yeah. 100.
100. Like there's no
100. 100.
100. Yes, definitely. And then the other thing, it says you're not afraid to fight for what matters to you.
Oh, that's the truth. I'm a fighter anyway. Even if I don't want to fight, I end up in a fight.
Exactly. You don't speak the language of attachment.
Okay. I definitely
so pretty much you're feeling complete without someone. Like you like to be with people, but you are good and you can be by yourself and not have a problem. You're not codependent. You don't need to be around people. You are comfortable in your own skin.
I'm comfortable in my own skin, and I also try to get other folks to understand that they have that power as well. So exactly. If I see them coming up against a challenge and it requires dealing with someone else, I'm in a place actually right now where I'm letting people know it's okay to be there for you and not be there for someone else. It's okay, because if you don't put your oxygen mask on first, how are you going to save the person next to you?
Amen. Speak that. Exactly. So the other one, it says, you see and appreciate the little things in life. I know that for me is absolutely true.
Yeah, a lot of my prayer is built on that kind of gratitude. I mean, something can go right, something can go wrong. And when things go wrong, I still try to find a positive in it, and I'm grateful for that. When things go right, and it could be little, I could find $10. It could be somebody paid me, a compliment, whatever. I try to take that in and I'm grateful that it came to me, because something else could have come to me that I can't handle. You get what I'm saying? Like
I totally agree.
the
Totally
smaller
agree.
things.
So it's so funny. So when I was in Florida, I used to like run around my complex, right? And so I used every time on the path, the same path that I always would run and a walk run, I would find dimes, nickels, and penny. And I'd be like, oh, a couple times I found some quarters. And I was like, I mean, you thought I found $20, $30, and I'm just finding these coins, but I'm like, okay, this is a good run. I'm not expecting none of this, and it's just out there in the parking lot. Like, first of all, what are y'all doing out here? But thank you.
And we
Blessings.
got a change shortage going on too.
We got a change shortage going on too. I was like, wow. So yeah, definitely like finding the appreciation for the little things is so important. It's because there's so many things that are moving fast. So we just have to do that. So the other thing is that this article said is that you find inspiration for your thoughts and actions in the everyday, kind of like we just spoke about.
Mm-hmm.
You often operate in the flow state and lose track of time.
And I won't agree with that one, because I'm great with time management. So I'm so good that I'm like, I need 5 minutes here, an hour there. If I don't do this now, it's going to take me longer to do that. So that one I won't agree with, but I do understand it.
I understand it too, but I was like, no, because I'm very on time. If I say if we got to be there at 1 o'clock, I'm gonna be there at 1:40. It just is, you know what I mean? I don't care where I am, especially when it's time to eat. I'm going to be there early. So I was like, yeah, I get it. But it's pretty much talking about, not really caring about societal rules and expectations. So that I was like, I got it. So you prioritize experiences over material things.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely. And your lifestyle, your style is completely your own. Yes,
definitely. Look at this
right
here.
Look at that. She's just all there. I like it. And you're a problem solver. I know I am.
Yeah. I can't. I don't function well if I don't try to figure out a way to make it work in my favor.
Yeah, exactly. And you're not intimidated by authority figures. Nope.
No,
I have a story about, I've been very blessed to be groomed the way I have been groomed professionally. So at a very early age, like my first job was working for an assemblywoman in Queens. My friends are trying to get, deals at the mall, and I was mad that I didn't get it, but that set me on a track, because then everything after that, like, leveled up. I worked with very high profile people in entertainment and philanthropy and golf and you name it. And I treated them like whatever. You put on your pants the same way I do. And I actually had an authority figure have a problem with the way I was doing. And I was like, whatever. And they try to make it seem like, because I was from New York. I said, no, I just know how to handle myself. That's a problem with you. It's not my problem. Sounds like a you problem. And I have a t-shirt for that says that now.
Let me tell you something. One thing I feel is that I am not more important or less important than anyone. So that has come up to be a problem. I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't I got promoted at work, but it's okay, because I'm not going to treat my manager any more respectfully than I am being treated by that person. And that's just the best way I'm going to put it.
Listen, and again, exactly. You know what I mean? If somebody got a problem with that, and because you feel like you have a little bit of power over me and this is what you want to do, okay. But watch how life works.
Let's see how that works out for you. Yep.
Yes, definitely. So I'm not going to go through all 27, but we get the gist of how this is flowing. So I want to get into the free-spirited woman and what it really means when you get down to the root and you get down to your core and you get down to your grit. Like, to me, is really going. It's talking about going really hard in the paint for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for me, it is just being me. And then being me in a way that is respectful, but yet authentic to who I am.
Right.
because my way of thinking is so different than a lot of other people. So that's very challenging. It can
Mm-hmm.
be it can reduce your confidence. You know, like when you were saying earlier about my growth and blossoming, and I was probably unconsciously walking in myself but didn't realize it. What I think you're seeing is that I'm more confident, especially spiritual in my spiritual self.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
just more confident, and I think that's just shining through.
It is.
And because I know what I know, and I realize that my intentions aren't to be malicious, nor am I out to be or cause harm to someone else, then I stand firm in that. I can be corrected. It might take me 2 months, 3 months before I figure out what you said to me for me to come back and apologize about the way I might have acted at a certain
Right.
point. But
Right.
it's still, I'm still working on me. So I'm still able to be talked to. I'm still able to be um, open to your criticism, because at the end of the day, we need to be respectful to each other.
We do. And I believe that's a huge part of the whole free spirited woman aspects as well. You know what I mean? It's like I'm gonna be respectful and do, you know, whatever in society. However, I'm still going to be me. I'm
Yes.
going to show up in my best way possible.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, I'm going to do what I want to do, not just be out here. You know, it's not, you know, when people say that phrase, they take it to another level. And it's like, no, I'm not going to be reckless. I
And a
think, you know,
lot of people take, okay, so I'm glad you said the word reckless, because free spirited can also be wild child. Like you can put them together. The reason why I prefer the words free spirit over wild is because wild gets taken negatively.
mhm,
Recklessness is, if you look up wild, you might see recklessness in a
it might
definition
be,
of it. It
yep.
is it's taken so negatively. And I'm not gonna lie, some people are free like that. Like they are free, they are reckless, they throw caution to the wind, and they care about the consequences later. And I have lived a portion of my life like
Mhm,
that because it's all trial and error, right?
mhm,
But it when you learn your lessons and you learn what works for you, and then you start to repeat the stuff that works for you because you don't want to continue to go through the trauma and the drama and all the other Dalai Lamas. No, I'm just playing. But you don't want to repeat. Some people don't want to repeat that kind of thing. So it's always best to learn from those mistakes and then apply
mhm.
your best foot forward. And you can do that and still be free. Like you
You
can
can.
do that and still live the way you want to live without conforming 100% to what society thinks you're supposed to do or be.
Right. So we have someone that says, be fully authentic and honest, never conform. So we have been brought up in a conformist society already. So we have to fight, and especially women have to fight. How about this? Let me scratch that whole part. So everybody in their own right has to climb and scratch their way out of some type of conformity one way or the other.
Right.
Tonight we're speaking about women specifically because of our seems like never ending struggle and what we are fighting to, you know what I mean? The essence that we're trying to bring forth, trying to show the power, trying to show X, Y, and Z. And the conformity has like pretty much had a chokehold on us.
And
Sorry.
the killer is we already been in power. We already run things. We already do things. And the powers that be couldn't be where they are today if they didn't have us. And we were the
Exactly.
first to make things happen from
Exactly.
from every aspect of life. And
Every.
so I hate that
Yes.
womanhood has been demonized to be controlled so that someone else who doesn't have that energy, that those body parts, the mindset, can use us
Yeah.
for their own purposes.
Yes. Definitely.
I,
Definitely. Definitely.
I
Definitely.
that's what I don't like, because your grandmother, your mom,
Mhm.
aunties, they run stuff. I don't care if it's a household, it could be
They
a
run.
company.
They running something.
They run. It could be the front desk. They running it, and you
Yeah.
don't know how to get anything off that front desk unless you go through that person.
Exactly. And so that's where the disrespect is. And yes, we have adopted a conformist doctrine. Lord Doc C said, thank you. But it's it's so it becomes hard, it becomes challenging to then for us to come into our own because of an expectation. And there's, a growing population of people who are now starting to understand, I'm sorry, accept women
I'm multitasking, so
no, go on. What you doing?
I'm making some of them those Brussels sprout greens again, and this time it's for dinner tonight, so I gotta get them stirred up.
Stop talking. I don't. So Instagram land. I do not like Brussels sprouts, but I've tried them every which way. It don't work for me. Nicole ain't gonna do it. I don't want it. Anywho, so as I was saying, it seems now, there's a spirit of the energy that is coming alive that people are talking about, and there's so much information out there that the truth continues to get buried. And so you've already tapped into the what we've already talked about as far as women already holding these positions, already showing their power fully, like 100%.
Yep.
And then, and so now, like I said, you have this growing population of people now accepting what that looks like or how that is. And so people, it seems like people are going to try to just bring it down no matter what.
Yeah, there's a clear agenda against it. Yeah, you're right.
Clear agenda. That's the whole thing. It's a clear agenda, and it's like, yo, open your. First of all, open your eyes, right? Like, for real.
Think for yourself. I'm starting to call people sheeple because they follow. Like, and I want y'all to think about this for a minute. Drive down the street, go to an intersection that has a 2 left lane turn. Okay, watch everybody. Watch everybody line up in the left lane. Miss the light because they didn't go over to the left lane to make the light. You know what I'm saying? They're the 10th car in the left lane because you're just following and not looking and seeing what's going on around you. You could have been the 3rd car in the left lane and made it to where you need to go. I'm telling you, people, look at it. I look at the simplest thing. Go to the door and watch how people will go out the door that somebody has open versus all the other 15 doors that could be there, and you standing in line to go out of the door that's open because you won't open your own door.
Yeah. That's Now that you say that, I definitely witnessed that. And it's like, what are you doing?
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
So
and then when you look at like chivalry, and I have hurt so many men's feelings. I mean, it's not on purpose, but I'm okay with opening my door and going because I don't want to wait on you. And it's not wrong for me to I got my own timeline. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with me doing what I need to do for me. So if you get offended because you open the door for me, but I'm already at the other door, I don't need to walk 10 feet over that. Please don't be upset. Don't be upset. And don't be upset if I decide to be helpful and open the door for you. All I'm doing is being helpful. I'm not trying to take away your masculinity.
Listen, I like doing the reverse chivalry. I really do. I adore it. I don't see anything wrong with that. But what some women do, they like, no, this is supposed to be for me. Da, da, da. Yeah, okay. And where does that come from and why? Because you were already seen as less than anyway, that you can't take care of yourself, that you're feeble and you're and this. And so there it becomes, oh, you have to do this for a woman, or you have to do. It's like, yeah, that's nice. Do it because you respect me. Do it because you care about me, not because you're seeing me as someone you have to take care of, or that I'm a liability that you're responsible for.
Yeah, and I'm not knocking chivalry.
Is twisted,
right? And I'm not knocking chivalry. It's just I know I have offended men because I am who I am. It's not. I'm not coming at you because I'm a woman with a with a uterus. No, I'm a regular person, and I'm walking to the door, and we both get there at the same time, and I just happen to be a little faster than you or something. I'm not trying to take away anything. I'm just being who I am, and sometimes that's just offensive to people.
It is. It can. It
Trust
definitely.
me, I don't have it.
Well, and like again, it's the mindset change, right? It's all about our mindset change, and so for people that have more of a masculine energy, there's a mindset change needed for there. with the feminine, with the more the feminine energy, there needs to be, because we all need each other. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's the yin and yang of life. And so when we learn to try to balance it, then everybody can be free. You know what I mean? So for me, you know, I'm all about balance. I'm your Libra. You know what I mean? I'm looking for that balance all the time in all things. And so when I see things like we just talking, I'm like, yeah, now I won't even say the term, because you know that people get a little crazy with the equal opportunity thing as well. But if I'm going to do something for you because I genuinely want it, I'm feeling free to be able to do so.
The spirit of helpfulness has hit me, and I'm going to let it use me. I mean, that's just how I see it. Sometimes I feel like being helpful. Sometimes I am selfish. Okay? So if the spirit of helpfulness hits me, like my joke at work, when we work overtime, I have to order lunch and, you know, make sure it's ready for everybody, whatever. So during that time, I'm like doing trash pickup. Nobody's asked me to do it. And I'm like, it's trash pickup time, and y'all better jump on this on domesticness right now, because I'm feeling it, because it doesn't last long. And when I say that, they get it. But you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing this because I just feel like being helpful, so you can stay at your desk a little bit longer, and I can walk that over for you.
It's not because I have to, right? It's because I want to. And so being in our free spiritedness, I am walking unapologetically, respectfully in this world. That's how I like to put it, because I mean, I'm a person of, I hold my integrity very seriously. You know what I mean? So I am going to be respectful, and as I work to be more of a free-spirited woman, because I'm on you know, trying to find mine as well. I'm saying it's going to be respectfully done. You know what I mean? Yeah. So hold on. People need to be okay with being confident in their abilities. We must be okay with a workable balance. No one is good at everything. If your wife can change the tire, let her. If you cook, better do it. You got that right. Yep. I know how to change the tire. I know how to change my brakes. I need to learn how to change my oil, but that would be another day. But you asked, and because I wanted to, because I love cars. So I wanted to be able to change my own brakes. I wanted to learn these things. And so it wasn't because, I didn't have somebody, no, I just wanted to learn how to do it.
Nicole, let me tell you something.
Do it myself or help somebody do it. But yes, definitely
in high school, when we had, because I'm from the era where we had home ec classes and things like that. I tried to take shop, but the boys had it on lock. But I tried to take shop. I really did. So I'm with you on that. If I would have got my hands greasy, who knows what I would have been like today.
Listen, wood shop was one of my favorite classes, because I learned how to be a brick mason. So I know how to lay bricks. Mixing the mud and actually building a brick wall. I made a tin scoop, like, you know, you could scoop in the garden. I did all of that stuff. And it was just like, okay, I mean, this is what the life skills that, you know, were afforded to everybody. Now you ain't got shit. And it's like, what are we teaching the generation?
Let me tell you, one of my friend's cars was having an issue, and I was all like, you don't know how to change your battery? I changed my battery. You don't know how to change your battery? I said, you need to get you some friends who work on cars. And it's funny when you say laying brick, because another hobby skill of mine is home improvement. I don't put roof tiles on. Look, this fireplace alone, I done did this myself. Okay? Did that all myself. All right? By myself. So all I'm saying is, yes. And the reason why I did all that is because I have ambition with limited money. So if I want to make this happen, I got to figure it out.
Listen, that YouTube University is the truth.
It sure is.
It is. Listen, and I will say, for me, it's freeing to learn how to do things. Even if I'm going to pay someone else to do something because I just want my time back, I'm going to claim my time to do something. The fact that I know how to do something, for me, when I know that was something that was not even an option.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like voting. You know what I mean? I take that very seriously. I take being on jury duty very seriously, because our people weren't able to do that. You know what I mean? So those types of things, it's like, yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and learn. I'm gonna go ahead and try to do this. Like again, even if I'm gonna pay somebody to do it, at least I know how to do it because then I can look back and make sure you know what you're doing.
Oh, and you know what now? Usually that's a man that you're paying to do that type of work. And yes, I
Usually,
don't hurt their feelings too.
because of what you
Oh,
know how to
yes.
do.
Because I'm all like, you can do that. All you
That
do is do
happens to
this and
my
do that and
mom
screw
too.
this over here. And they're like, oh. And I'm like,
Yeah, that's
I'm
what happens to my
paying.
mom a lot of times because she's the Bob Vila of the family, my mom, and so yes, she can have people do work on her house, or she'll build your whole house if you let her. However, you know she's getting up there in age, so she's
Yep.
having work done. She knows what is supposed to be done and not done. And dare you try to tell her different than what she know? You
Yep.
want to talk about a free spirited woman being wild and telling you about yourself? She gonna let you know. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep. Yeah,
Because
I
it's
mean,
like, don't denigrate me or don't disrespect me because you think I'm a woman and I don't know anything. It's the old adage of going to a woman going to a car dealership by herself
okay.
and trying to get a
So,
deal, but they thinking they're going to get over. Yeah, I've had that happen to me too. I'm like, I know about cars. I can tell you about a certain type of car to the T.
okay.
I can tell engines. That's how
Okay.
I love cars.
No, I
So
hear you. Mhm.
you know what I
No,
mean?
I
It's like
hear you.
those types of things, I feel add to the spirit of being that free spirited woman. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
It's gaining all of our powers, using our knowledge. It's constantly learning. It's constantly being, as one of the charismatics said later down the line, being in your flow, which I struggle
Yeah.
to be in sometimes. I really struggle to be in sometimes, but I understand what that means. And it's like, oh, if we can all do that 100% of the time, what would this world look like?
Oh, I think it'd be a lot happier, healthier, safer, and greener.
I agree. I totally agree because we're naturally nurturing. We're natural creators. So we ain't gonna kill or take or hurt something that we done created and or nurtured. We're not gonna do that knowingly. We're not gonna do that. I'll say knowingly we're
Right.
not gonna do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
And
so go ahead.
I was gonna say, and somebody else, I went backwards in the comments. Somebody else had said something about um when we were talking about being a liability, and he said society says we must do this. This is what we was talking about, that chivalry stuff, and that's what the
Yeah.
whole thing about being a free spirit is. Yes, society says you're supposed to do this, this, and this, and there are things that I do. Went to school, brushed my teeth, I did those things. But if I wanted to, you already know, for my 49th birthday, I went hang gliding. Do you think a whole lot of people? No. And if I listened to the folks who I might have thought of should ask to go, I probably would have never did it
Yeah.
because I'm okay with doing what I want to do. I don't have to follow society. I got to pay taxes. I got to be black, and I got to
You
die.
really don't, but continue.
Well, you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. If you want to live quote unquote comfortably without being harassed at
Right.
some point, but yeah, I
Right.
got to be black. I got to pay taxes, and I got to die. That's about all I have to do. I choose
Mhm.
to be respectful. I
Right.
choose to be well. I'm a upbeat, positive person regardless, but I choose positivity over negativity as much as possible. I choose to wield my power for good. It's just
Mhm.
that's the things that I choose to do, and society does not get to dictate that. It doesn't get to
Right.
dictate how I operate within some of the realms that they put us in.
Right.
Like you always get put in a box, in a bubble, in a circle. You get trapped. And I've
Right.
learned how to make my own shapes. I've learned how to find my way out so I can have my solace and yet
How,
still comply.
how did you do that? How did you do that? Or how would you say one should go about doing that?
Now,
Finding your own, yeah.
the first thing you got to realize is that if you're getting a lot of pushback from the rest of the world, why? Is it their fears? You get what I'm saying? And a lot of it is their fears. So they're afraid to go hang gliding. They're afraid to live alone. They're afraid to try something new by themselves.
Yeah.
That confidence level isn't rooted in self, it's rooted in outside of self. So that
Mm-hmm.
foundation is already not strong enough. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to call them weak. I don't want to call them weak because some people are strong being doing what society does. Like, they're very strong, they're confident. I don't want to knock that. That's your strength, working your strength, but it's not for everybody. College isn't for everybody. Trade school might
Yeah.
be better. It's okay to promote those kind of things. We don't all have to be the chief. It's okay to be, you don't have to be the manager. You don't have to be CEO. It's okay to be the worker bee. It's fine with that. There's nothing wrong with that. This country alone has lost so much just because everybody wants to be the chief. Nobody, like me being a designer. Okay, I started off doing clothing.
Leather handbag design. I'm gonna have to correct it every time. I'm gonna have to correct.
I started off doing clothes. I started off doing clothing. Okay, I'm in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, which is the capital of cotton way back in the day. But why am I going all the way to China to get these fabrics? Why is it being insourced? This is what I'm saying. We following society, we lost our power.
We lost
our knowledge. Like you said, people don't even know how to change their own tires. We lost our education. We lost our know-how. And then the way how society has things mapped out, you disrespect your elders. Well, that's what the information is. You want to rewrite history. You want to rewrite history so much as you don't realize God is feminine. You don't understand that. You do not understand that. There's a feminine and a masculine side to God. That energy is not just one thing. It can't be. How can it be? If it encompasses everything, if it creates, if it destroys, if it does all of that, how could it just be one thing?
Exactly. If we're in the image, if we are made in the image of God, and we are,
and we look so different. Even apples look different. It ain't just red apples out there. It's red, yellow, green. Are you kidding me? Sour, sweet, crabby, all kinds of stuff. Are you kidding me? Like, God didn't make just one thing.
Best orchard up here with apples. Oh my gosh! But continue. But no, you're absolutely right. And wait, somebody said my clients don't pay taxes. What's happening? I'm just saying.
Well,
like where's that at? Where's that at? But yes, it's just so crazy how the script constantly gets flipped. Constantly, to reworked and read this and read that, all to try to bury the truth. Thankfully, they said if you wanted to tell, what's the term? Oh my gosh, the statement. If you want to put the truth out there, put it in a book, because nobody reads
books. Oh my God, hide your money. Hide your money in a book. Hide your money in a book. As long as that place don't catch on fire, you're rich. And the person who said it about the taxes, that's my tax guy. So if you want to know.
Hi, tax guy. So,
yeah, that's Jay. Hey, Jay.
DM me, okay? I'm just saying. I got business. I got businesses. I need assistance. Look at
that man is good. That man is good. I'm just letting you know, he found me money I didn't even know was out there. So I'm just letting you know, Jay, I'm putting you out there.
A sister needs help. I'm in Connecticut. I hope you actually are able to do stuff in that state. But let's chit chat. DM me your information. I'm calling you tomorrow. Okay, let's move on with our conversation. I like this. See, this is why I have the people that I have on, because it leads me to people like him. You feel me? Like I said, this is not a show or a conversation, whatever you want to call it, that I just throw people up here. I am divinely inspired to be like, oh, I need that person. When I heard your voice, I was like, oh, let me hear what Melissa's saying. Okay, because I didn't even hear the live version. I had to go back later, like a week or so later, and I was like, oh, you missed something when Melissa was talking. I was like, what you talking about? Okay. When I went back, I was like, oh, we got to continue this conversation because she ain't saying everything she want to say. So we're gonna give her the platform and the space and the time to do so.
Another thing I wanted to say is I chose to be single and childless. I just put it that way. And, for women, oh my God, like I promoted the word spinster. They were like, oh, it's such a negative word. No, it's not. No, it's spinster ain't nothing but bachelor. But folks really get so caught into what society gives them is that some people become mothers before they're ready to become mothers because they didn't do their free spirit stuff yet to get their foundation into place, to get that going with the other people that they create. What I'm trying to say is I really am hoping and praying. Well, actually, I'm noticing there's a lot of people out there living like I have started living, like, because I've been doing this all my life. And that attack that I feel is on women to make us, you know, now they're making us have choices that we, well, not have choices that we could have, and things like that. I am applauding the folks who are waiting to marry or waiting to procreate. I applaud that, because in this particular society, if you do it too early without having the right resources and foundations laid out before you, the family will struggle harder. You're already going to struggle because life is just going to throw struggles at you.
Right.
But your family can struggle needlessly because you didn't plan accordingly. So I like that my free spiritedness allows me to map out how I want to live. And if I decide I want to pick up extra people along the way, then I would plan for that. Again, you don't have to fall. I don't want to use the word victim, but that's the phrase you normally say. But you don't have to fall for everything that happens to come your way. You have choices. You can say no. You can change your mind. It's okay to hurt someone else's feelings if it's defending yourself.
Well, you don't have to be and hurting the feelings is their perception, not yours.
True that. True that. That's true. That's true. That's true. So that's one thing I will say. Like I have my qualms about the younger generation because, you know, they just so different than how we was.
You know,
but
what? Oh,
I admire them. I admire them because when they stand up for something, look what happened with George Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Like when they stand up for something, I didn't think young people be out there marching again. I didn't think young people be out there standing. I love that, but I just wish that we had more intelligence that we could use for ourselves to better the community around us.
Well, we do. So we do have the intelligence. We just need the acceptance of the intelligence to then be able to nurture that
and the resources to build on it. And because we're so much in struggle mode, we can't build our resources together. We struggle so much individually.
That survival mode and that the survival mindset is crazy. And I that's a whole other topic. And okay, now I definitely will have to talk about that. Being someone that has, you know, worked to come out of survival mode, you know, being by myself or just even if I had a partner, just always being in survival mode because that's what we were taught. That's what, you know what I mean? Make sure you take care of yourself.
I don't even know if we were taught that. I think it was a circumstance. I think it was a circumstance that we got put into, and it became a way of life. Like I don't want to say taught. I want to say,
well, it was passed down. So the mindset was passed down. It's still a trickle down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the trauma. The trauma is in the DNA. Yes. I'll say that. I'll say that. Yeah.
Definitely. I agree. Yes. Okay. My boy said planning his vile children are very expensive. Yes, they are. That's why I'm like, anybody like, when you gonna have kids? Mind your business. Stay out my womb. Thank you. Like, yo, you gonna come raise these kids? Like, stop it. You know, and you know, we've had plenty of women talk about that very thing about getting older and or you know, I like be more seasoned and they haven't birthed a child, you know, and I'm in that boat as well. And, you know, we've had several celebrities talk about that. And it's like, if I choose not to for whatever, I don't care what your reason is, that's your choice. Like I have a great friend of mine I went to college with. She was like, I'm not having kids. I'm too selfish. I want all my check. And I said, girl, I mean, and she said this when we were in our early 20s in college. And I was like, okay, and she was very serious.
Oh, I believe her. I believe you.
Trust me, she don't have any kids to this day. We're 45 now. Yes. So it's like, and it's okay. Your life is not diminished. You're not damned to all hell because you didn't have kids. And mind you, she has, you know, nieces. I have a niece, a nephew. I have 2 godchildren. I have a bonus daughter. I have helped raise other people's kids.
Yeah, they out there.
Done a lot. You know what I mean? And it's like, so if I choose to be like, nope, then don't make me or someone else feel bad because you think society is saying this is what we were put here to do, because that's what
Right.
was taught back in the day. We won't even get into that religion, but girl, that our book is very powerful. Our book is very powerful. And you know the one I'm talking about that we
I do know what you're talking about. And in the book that is the mainstream book that is as powerful is missing some of that book.
missing.
Like people don't realize that book is missing chapters and books, and it was omitted. And it was omitted by
Purposefully.
I'm going to say it was omitted by non-females for the betterment of them.
Society, the patriarchy, you know what I mean? And it's like, why do we got to do that when we all need each other anyway? And so I think that's what my gripe is, and why you even have the label being a free-spirited woman, when it's like, we all need each other to do everything.
Yes.
Some way, but I don't care. You know, I'm not talking about somebody that needs to be coupled or whatever. Just society. If these people we're all here, we're all connected some kind of way. I don't care what you identify with. We all hold masculine and feminine energy. So we need each other. Stop the bull. But again, you know, it's about that power. It's about that money. It's about keeping the status quo that is crumbling. It's really crumbling. I don't care what's going on. It's going to crumble. And I'm here for it. But it's just sad because the trauma that gets inflicted, and especially, you know, women that are trying to come into their own, whatever age you are. You know, you got an 80-year-old who's a bodybuilder right now. I'm trying to be like her when I grow up. You know, it's like, it doesn't matter where you are in your life. You can come into your own. You can reinvent yourself. You can make those choices and say no, yes, maybe so, I don't know right now, and it be okay because it's true for you. You know, we look at the trauma that we may have, and I was talking to my cousin earlier today, and it's like, if we take that trauma away, then who are you? You know, we have people that use these things as crutches all the time. And again, we're talking about women tonight, so I'm going to speak about women. Don't care if it offends anybody. You're going to use your trauma to be a crutch so you don't have to do something else, or you don't have to be accountable for something, but then you want to be looked at as a certain kind of way. And it's like, no, boo-boo. No.
That's the word, accountability. Accountability.
Like,
now, I'm going to just talk about this country because it's the only country that I can reference, okay? And I really feel like how they just sue anybody for anything. And they want to do something and say it's your fault. I am getting very tired. And as a woman, and any woman on here, I think you're going to agree with this. We have been responsible for things that we had no business being responsible for because that's how society made it. What do I mean by that? If a woman, especially back in the day, lived exactly the way a man lived, she was shunned, she was looked down upon. Let's just go with the whole
exiled, or even killed.
Yep. Let's just say going with the whole being loose thing, just being promiscuous. Let's just use that as an example.
Let's go there.
You want to get mad, make the woman feel bad for getting pregnant or for having multiple partners, but the man gets congratulated. The man, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Most men don't know how their penis works or what's going on with their penis if their woman didn't go to the gynecologist. I'm just being honest with you.
For that matter.
I'm just saying, true that, but I'm just saying, like, what I mean, like, a man could give a woman something.
Yeah.
The woman's going to go to the doctor and find out if she's clean or not, or got issues or not. The man didn't go, but he's the one spreading stuff around. But you all want to say the woman's spreading it around. And where did we get it from? Like, stop with the foolishness. So my whole thing is, this whole accountability thing is built against, has been used against us, making us, like I said, even though women and men have that same energy, we also have, quote unquote, the same body parts. I think the only thing a man has that a woman doesn't have is that rib. I think we just have one less rib. I think that's what we have in our bodies. Other than that, their testes are our ovaries. Their penis is our vaginal canal. Their nipples, we got nipples. Like, we have the same things. Okay.
Because we
And I think
start as
another
women
difference is,
anyway.
yeah, and I think the other difference is we clean our own blood because we lose blood and then our marrow will make new blood. And I think men, for them to get their blood clean, they need to eat beets or something like that. Like there's something going on
Something
there.
else.
But
Right.
literally we have the same body parts. Therefore, you're right, we have the same energy. So we should have the same accountability. I'm one to believe that reversible vasectomy should be mandatory. And I know that sounds like Hitler, but I'm just gonna be honest with you. Because you keep putting it on a woman. And let me explain to you why I say that. Birth control causes cancer, tumors, hair loss, weight gain, hair come on. You know what these hormones and these medicines, you know what they do. If a man gets a freaking vasectomy, it doesn't even hurt as bad as they think. And I mean, you ain't having a whole baby, so stop it. You're not hurting. You're not hurting like that. You're gonna be uncomfortable. You're gonna be uncomfortable while it's going on.
You'll be uncomfortable. Like 2 weeks. I heard for like 2 weeks.
I don't even, from the minute I heard that got it done, it ain't even 2 weeks. It's a few days. Okay, it's an outpatient procedure. If a woman gets her tubes tied, that's a whole surgery. That's a whole 6 weeks of recovery. If a man gets a vasectomy, a reversible one, okay, she doesn't have to take these medicines. Her body can stay healthy. You want to protect us, work on you. You want to protect the woman, work on you. You want to give your seed to the woman you know will plant it correctly. Do not just be throwing your seed. Just throwing your seed. Just some crazy water hose. Just throwing your seed all over the place. And then and leaving it for us to pick up. You don't want to pay child support? Work on you. Don't just get caught out there doing stuff. You want to be one with your child's family? Work on you. Because you're not taking responsibility for what comes out of you, but you want to just give it to everybody. And I can't stand it. That's that accountability I'm talking about. Not y'all, but society has been promoting for women to be responsible for penises and what happens with or without the penis for so long. We don't even, well, we have one that's real small, but we don't even have one. Stop playing. Stop it.
Because you never in anything that there's talking about, you never hear, or there's never any accountability or ownership from the man. And it's like, I didn't do this to myself. I probably would have
and how they pursue you. And I'm only on a promiscuity part. I'm not on anything else. But how they can pursue you, that energy they put into pursuing you, that'll blind a whole lot of people, especially when society beating you down.
Exactly.
You're gonna be weak. You're gonna be susceptible. You're gonna fall for that foolishness. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. No, I had to say that.
No, say what you gotta say. say it with your chest. You know.
And then I really feel like if they were forced to get the vasectomy, then when they live their life, do whatever they're gonna do, then they meet that girl, be like, yeah, this is the one mama need to meet, daddy need to meet, grandma need to meet. Find her, y'all work it out. Go to some kind of like couples counseling. Go to some parenting classes, because some people don't even understand how to be parents.
Not everybody should be parent. But there's so much work that needs to be done.
Get reversed. Get a reversal when you pass it. And then go and be fruitful and multiply. Like, I'm only saying this because we need healthier families out there.
There's so many steps in between that you're talking about that always go unchecked and always go missed. You know what I mean? So it's like, go ahead and get the vasectomy. Go on and have your fun. And when you have done the real work on you, because you can do all of that, but you ain't done the real work on you, then to attract the right partner for you to then procreate so you don't continue the crazy cycle, right? Then go on ahead and be fruitful and multiply, and everybody can live in harmony. That's in another perfect world universe for me. But it's like we're never moving away from that mentality. I don't believe, and I don't like being pessimistic. That's just not what I do. But it's like, I'm a realist in that respect. You know what I mean? You're going to have the people who are going to be responsible, or going to be reliable, are going to have the accountability to be like, and the ones that are being accountable and reliable, they're not speaking up. The loudest voices that are being heard in the room are the ones that are trying to keep the status quo, keep the hairy old white men in power. And it's like, no, y'all know what it is, but you have party over people. So we really can't even get down to what we really need to pay attention to and to care for the betterment of society. So, and unfortunately, we are the collateral damage.
Yep. And one of the reasons why I chose to be a single woman is because I haven't met the man that I trust my life with. And my mother was all like, whoa, wait a minute. And I was all like, what do you mean by that? I didn't even think that way about your father. And they've been married over 50-something years. And I said, well, there's things that are going to happen in marriages. There are things that can happen in your life. And the decisions that man makes will affect. The decisions you make will affect. So I need to know, what car are you driving? Are you on a motorcycle? I like motorcycles. I'm going to get one. But if we're about to have a baby, you need to have a sedan. You don't need to have a motorcycle. Who are your friends? Are they inspiring you to be better, or are they bringing you down? What kind of, how do you spend your money? Like what I'm saying is your life decisions are going to either adversely or positively affect me. And the men that I have dated, some of them just they couldn't even keep punctuality. How can I trust my life on somebody who can't show up on time? I'm just being honest.
How about that?
Okay, and I'm not knocking them. Some of them are great dudes. Like the ones that I've had good relationships with, take care of their, when I say take care of their kids, I mean they live with their kids. They don't pay child support. They are the I forgot what the custodial parent. Okay, and it's not like that is so funny for somebody who chose not to be a wife and not to be a mother, that I attract men who take care of theirs.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think that's very, I think that is. But some folks' decisions, not everybody, but some folks' decisions scare me too much for me to trust my life with them. And that's really the main reason.
Listen, that's some real stuff right there. That is some real, so that's some real truth and real honesty. And to say, I'm not settling. I'm not just going to be with somebody or get married or cohabitate or whatever because you think I should, because I'm getting older, or because I hate those general and blanket statements or expectations. It's like, no, why would I even want to put that burden on myself? I'm good by myself, right? I mean, for the life of me, for a few years when I was just just single and just dating or whatever, oh my goodness, what are you gonna I don't know. You know what I mean? It's not everybody gets that level of Nicole,
Exactly.
And even when I thought I was going to marry somebody, they still didn't get that level of Nicole. But I've realized now that was in the level of expectation I was living for somebody else.
Yep.
Not
and
me.
that little piece,
you know what I mean?
that little piece of your spirit was strong enough to make you get to the position you needed to be in, to see what you needed to see so you can make the right decisions.
Exactly.
Some people, they just end up in situations and not really looking down the road. Like, one thing about me, I look down. Let me tell you how. Let me just give you one example. And you can ask my childhood friends, and I'm still friends with some of them. Back when I was like 14, between 12 and 14, I remember saying, the women are becoming the men and the men are becoming the women.
I've heard that before.
This is in the 80s.
And you were 14 saying this.
Yes. And here it is, 30 some odd years later. I can't count, y'all, so that's why Jay does my taxes. I can't count. But 30 some years later, and you're really truly seeing the merge of femininity, masculinity. You're really truly seeing it. Some is surgical, some is mental, some is outward, some is internal. But there's a true, even me, I know I have a high masculinity spirit. I know I do. But I know lately I have been honing in on my feminine side. I have been embracing my feminine side more, because my masculinity got me to the state where I need to be, but my femininity needs to take me to the next chapter. That's how I look at it.
And I love how you just put that, because then you actually recognize how the masculine and feminine work for you. You need to then channel the masculine to do certain things, and you channel the feminine to do other things. You know what I mean? Yep. Nobody looks at it like that, and that makes perfect sense. Perfect sense.
And in hindsight, it would be, I'm at a place now where I would like to see what it's like to have a partner. I would like to see what it's like to have my guy with me. I look back at some stuff and I'm like, where would I be today if I had that man who could carry me when I couldn't carry myself? What would that be like? What would I be? What would my designs be like? What would my job be like? You know what I mean? So those things I would like to see what could happen. So I'm more open to that now, which means I am learning to work more in societal ways.
Yeah.
Like to work more in it, not to fight it so much, because I need an understanding of that benefit, but I'm still strong enough to take care of me should that not happen. And I
don't even think it's a societal thing that you're again, you are channeling more of your feminine, more of the, okay, let me know how it feels to have a partner that really supports me, that's going to take care of me, that's going to do stuff for me, because traditionally, and for me, I've realized later on in life that, I wore the pants in the relationship a lot, and it was like, it wasn't, and so now that's reversed, and, I'm married now, and I have a partner who allows me to be
feminine.
Feminine. It's weird. You know what I mean? Like, it's a struggle for me to then, like, okay, and they're like, Nicole, let him do it. And I'm like, okay, like, and even he'll look at me. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm used to just going and
I'm just used to doing it. I'm used to getting to the door and opening it up. There's no, like I said, I have no disrespect to you. I'm just used to doing what I need to do for me. I mean, I don't want to take my trash out, but if I don't take my trash out, the house will stink. So I got to do it.
Exactly.
I'm not doing it because I'm trying to hurt you.
It's a challenge. It's a serious balancing act now, and so I understand exactly what you're saying. But so you're so cognizant. We spent some time speaking prior to this, and you are so cognizant now of where you are, and that you now, are dating, and you're like, okay, so this is what this means, or this is how this feels, or whatever, and you're able to, because we don't relax. You know what I mean?
No, let me tell you something. I'm looking forward to being in a position where I feel like I could submit, okay? And I am like, I can't submit to you. It's not because I'm a feminist. It's not because I am like against you. I can't submit to you because you haven't communicated with me. How am I supposed to surrender?
There's a trust.
Like, how am I supposed to surrender something to you? And I don't understand how you're going to go with it. I don't understand what you're going to do with it. So this part of my journey I'm on right now is to try to understand. Okay. I really believe in my heart that men are supposed to be the leaders to do this and do that. However, when I see the situation happen, I see the procrastination in the man. I see the put it off forever in the man. That doesn't work with me.
She's like,
so now I'm about to take lead again because you ain't moving fast enough. Right. Then you're going to call me a henpecker. Well, I mean, I got to get this done. I can't. I have a sister who's been married for God knows how long. And her man, he's retired now, but he used to do home repair stuff. Okay. But I come into their kitchen and the cabinet's falling off. Why is that? Because no other man could come in here behind them and clean up or do this or do that. Well, let me tell you, if I was the wife, it would have been like this. The cabinet falling down a month later. The cabinet falling down. You're going to call somebody, you're going to fix it. The second month. The cabinet falling down. You're going to give me the money to pay for somebody. The fourth month, I'd have got it fixed. What happened? You took too daggone long. I can't be having my cabinets falling down.
Exactly.
Dishes to put away.
Like, we don't live like that.
We don't live like that. Now, if you want to be lazy, that's fine. You need to have lazy money, and then but I would not be living in a place where the outside is in my inside. Like, you can't, fix this. Fix
No.
this.
And so what I do know, and especially with the women in my family, yeah, we run the household, right? So, or we're taking lead in certain things within that unit. So, it's so crazy. The dynamic is so crazy. And then you have there'd be some men that would say, you know, well, just ask me, you know, and it's just like, but and then women will say, I shouldn't have to ask you. You see it too. Listen, not all the time. I'm here to bear witness. Not all the time. You know, we see things that they don't, and vice versa. They see things that we don't in a different capacity. We don't think the same. We don't. You know what I mean? And so it's hard, or it's not hard, it's challenging, and that's where the whole harmony and coming together and speaking and being truthful with each other about things comes into play. Like, that's how we then live in harmony. We ain't always gonna get it right. Trust and believe, because we think somebody's supposed to be a mind reader and they're like everything is okay. Nope. You know, so but that's the tension, and that's the circle of life too, right? Everything ain't called, it's not going to be always, you know, peaches and cream. That will be a boring society. So it keeps it spicy in my mind.
Yep. I was always thinking that if the world was like me, it'd be perfect. But then I thought about it. Then
it would be very interesting, Melissa.
Yeah, because the monotony and routine and all that other stuff that I feel impulsive against. That would be the exciting stuff. Like, you know, it's like we all cannot be the same. We, like I said, there's yellow, red, green apples. We don't, I mean, even turkeys, for the folks who eat meat, you know, we eating white turkeys with red eyes, but really turkeys are brown. They got other colors. Chicken is the same thing. We eating the white ones with red eyes, but really they yellow, they red, they brown, they black, you know, there's a multitude of variety out there. And
the fact that have to be, you actually just, you know, speaking of in this free-spirited way of noticing those things and taking, you know what I mean, appreciating the variety that is out here and available to us. So why shouldn't I? Why do I have to just choose this chicken or this turkey? No, that ain't it, because why do I have cows, for instance? You know what I mean? So people, we're all hues of everything. So our life is variety. Our life is free within the color. Our life is free. You know what I mean? It's take a look at nature. You know what I mean? Take a look at the fall. Everything is free to be their own individual selves. And so why don't humans? Why? Yeah, like I said, I know we were speaking about women, but when we talk about just taking off the gender, free spirit, and everyone should adopt a piece or a whole of that whole mindset and see what happens. You know what I mean? It's a journey. It's a journey for sure.
It is. It's a journey, and it's happy and it's sad and it's scary and it's fun and it's all the emotions that as a human you're going to experience, because it's self-development, it is community development, and it is spiritual development. Like, it is a mixed bag. So as you heal and grow and learn and fumble and get up and try again, there is a journey, a lesson, and a takeaway from almost all of that. Okay. Like, I don't care if it's you stubbed your toe. You learned that the toe doesn't like a lot of pressure on it, and you need to walk better so that you don't hit these things. Like, you learn to protect these things. You don't know my life,
Melissa. Be quiet. I'm clumsy, so I hit everything. I fall, all things, you know. So
it happens. Yeah. And as older I get, the more I've been on the ground. I just fell the other day, going up the steps at work, and then nobody was there. And as soon as I fell on the steps, here come the door, and one of the good-looking security guards gonna come out. What you doing? I said, falling up the steps. That's embarrassing. Well, nobody there, so you heard the blue.
Exactly. And everybody's like, yeah, that is hilarious. But yes, This has been, so I'm going to close because I didn't realize the time, and that's what I like about these. You know, I try to keep it to a certain time, but I'm like, listen, we're going to let spirit do what spirit do. How about that? And so is there anything else that you want to add in this context of a free-spirited woman?
Just don't be afraid to do what you want to do. If you have a strong conviction that's not negative, that's not hurtful, I mean, honestly, if you want to be an astronaut and you could die on the way out to space, it is what it is, right? But if you're trying to do something that literally is the betterment of you and others, don't let the fear of someone. I mean, okay, I gotta say it like this: the guy that I'm dating hates cats. I got a cat. Hates cats. Got his whole family hating cats. Got the whole family hating cats, right? The grandchildren come over here. They look for the cat. I said, in my head, I didn't say it out loud, but his fear has projected into the whole family.
Right.
And if they get the opportunity to meet a cat, they might realize they're not hateful. There's nothing to hate about them. You get what I'm saying? You just have to have an experience. Don't limit your experiences. If you get a chance to go camping, go camping. You get a chance to go climb an ice. I'm planning a trip to Iceland next year to try to climb an ice mountain. And I want some Swiss Miss hot cocoa when I get up there. Okay.
I hope they have it for you, girl.
That's something that I want to do. And if I die before that happens because I didn't get people to come with me, that's my problem. You get what I'm saying? Why do I have to miss out on something when if I get in a situation where I'm, you know, on my last days and I'm in the bed, I want to be able to remember the ice mountain.
Yeah.
I want to be able to have those memories. You know, it's just be strong enough to do what you want to do. It's inspirational. It is freeing. It is stress releasing. Like there are so many benefits of being able to execute your ideas. So as long as they're not hurting you and somebody else, live it, own it, love it, be grateful for it, because God gave us variety.
Yeah. Now that was a word. I love that. And so with that, we will end this conversation. Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope you got out everything you needed to get out, because this was good.
I got that vasectomy part out. Yes, I did.
Yeah, brothers, you better look into it. Because it makes so much sense. However, that's a whole other conversation. Yes. Thank you so much, Melissa. Thank you for all who have come in, come out, made comments or whatever. Thank you so much. This conversation, or just healing through experiences conversations, are so dear to me. I really enjoy them. I have my own takeaways from them. I have my own things to ponder, because this is what I'm aspiring to be. And so, and getting out of my own way and not worrying about what other people say. It's hard. You know, when, like I said, somebody else, when you becoming a recovering people pleaser, you know what I mean? It's hard to do that and be like, oh, can I? And it's, yes, you can, if that's what you want to do. Like you said, if you're not hurting yourself or somebody else. How about this? You're not hurting yourself, because at the end of the day, it starts with you. So then, True that. Go ahead. You know what I mean? Be considerate, be respectful, however, live your truth. So thank you so much, Melissa. This has been great.
Thank you.
I don't know what we're going to do next week, but like I said, every time I do this, it just levels up, and I'm just like,
it'll be fire. No matter what you do, it'll be fire.
Thank you so much for your support, and I will get back with you about my honey, Miss Beekeeper.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes,
have a great night. Happy holidays to everybody, whatever holiday you choose to enjoy. I'm still, thinking and sending a loving energy out to those who are going through a tough time during this holiday energy. If they've lost someone, or if they're going through some type of challenge, or there's activation moments. I'm getting away from using that word triggered. Activation moments that are not as settling for you. So hope everybody has a great evening. Thank you so much. See you next time.